Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. I'm on my 2-week break from work and school. I'm giving my much appreciated small audience a gift. I let my morbid curiosity to a fault win again, and I sat through Terrifier 3 so you don't have to. You're welcome. So, let's dive into how Fart the Clown shits on one of my favorite holidays, Christmas. And it starts rather predictably. Somewhere in the middle, with a picture-perfect nuclear family tucking into bed on Christmas Eve, and one of the kids hears a ruckus outside and gets excited, thinking it's Santa Claus. But no, it's Fart the Clown, and he hacks them to pieces in an excruciating slow burn. Terrifier 3, everybody. After all that mess and the title card, we get to see how Bart the Clown got there. His headless body came back to life and made his way to an Arkham-style loony bin where they're keeping Victoria while she's not banging the tambourine while on tour with Slipknot. Anyway, she produces a replacement head for him. Don't ask me to explain how because I can't, but off they go. They find a nice condemned house and hide in it until they are ready to rock and rampage. We are reintroduced to Sienna, our Valkyrie hero from Terrifier 2, who defeated Fart the Clown, but at great cost to herself. She lost her mother and her friends, and now we're seeing her being released from a mental health inpatient facility into the custody of her aunt and uncle, who have a young daughter named Gabby who idolizes her. She understandably has PTSD and survivor's guilt. Here she is at dinner, hallucinating her departed friend at the table, complete with the acid and spiked club wounds. At the same time, Jonathan, her brother who also survived, is doing, all he can to move on with his life. He's going to college, and he rooms with Cole, who is dating Mia, who has a true crime podcast with a particular obsession with Bart the Clown. At the same time, we are reintroduced to Sienna and Jonathan. Fart the Clown and Victoria are coming out of gross, disgusting hibernation, killing the demolition crew who find them in a creatively gruesome ways with a new weapon, liquid nitrogen, and starting a new killing spree with the intent to ruin Christmas and make their way back to Sienna. So, he needs a convincing disguise. It's not Halloween anymore, it's Christmas. He descends upon an off-duty mall Santa at the local watering hole with a bunch of Santa groupies and, encircling poachers of Santa groupies. He plays up the meeting Santa in person and getting to sit in his lap act just long enough to rattle his cage by peeing on him and starting a big to-do. Then out come the sharp objects, and this scene ends with a stolen Santa costume, complete with a very real Santa beard, courtesy of the liquid nitrogen. Then it's off to the mall, where there is an element of black comedy suspension of disbelief that no one thinks to question the presence of a mall Santa with freaky black and white killer clown makeup, until the wrong gift box ribbon is pulled, triggering a bomb, killing all the children. And not sparing the gore and bringing this from an extreme gore and kind of black comedy movie to something, to me, really indecent. But Fart the Clown is not letting up. He has got Sienna's attention now, and she's sure this was no accident. And she's not just having PTSD symptoms. She knows who's come to town, and it's time to sharpen her Valkyrie sword. While the locals are still reeling from the mall bombing, Fart the Clown makes his way to the university, attended by Jonathan. He eavesdrops on Cole and Mia, and Mia has her suspicions, and Cole calls her obsessed, making a kind of a smart-ass comment about Mia possibly having the hots for Bart the Clown. She dismisses this outright, and in a brief snippet of dark comedy, Fart the Clown makes a dismissive you're not so hot yourself gesture before ambushing them during some shower nookie with a chainsaw. He hacks them both up in equally gruesome and undignifying ways, giving extra attention to Cole. In the final showdown of the movie, now just remember I might not be perfect on the details, I only watched this once. Anyway, Sienna and Fart the Clown meet again in her aunt and uncle's home, with Victoria by his side. They have Sienna tied to a chair facing her Aunt Jess, also tied to a chair and subject to rat torture, similar to what the tickler on the second season of Game of Thrones was doing. They also have a rat-eaten human head in a birdcage that they first let them think is Gabby, but later on reveal is Jonathan. The living room is decorated with what is left of Cole. His body is set up like a mock Jesus on the cross, and his entrails adorn the tree. Fart the Clown smashes both of Sienna's hands, and they place a crown of thorns on her head. So this is supposed to be some kind of demonic ritual. But Sienna tricks them into untying her, just so she can open one present. It's her Valkyrie sword. It's game on time. She lops off Victoria's head, which dissolves through floor and ground, creating a pit of hell, or pit into hell, that Gabby is hanging onto the edge of. Fart and Sienna do battle with chainsaw and sword. He even runs a length of Cole's bowel around her neck, but she bites through that butt pipe and rushes to pull Gabby back, but she falls in with the sword, just as Fart the Clown escapes, leaving the movie to end on a cliffhanger. There is a Terrifier 4 coming out this year. And that is all for Terrifier 3, but not for my brief comeback. I'm going to try to upload at least one more video before I go back to work and school. Until then, thank you for joining me, and see you next Book and Movie.